A study from the National Institute on Aging found that 91% of adults over 65 are doing at least 4 things every single day. Not one of them knew it because nobody, not their family doctor, not their children, not the pharmaceutical industry, ever sat them down and told them. Today, I am exposing 12 of these behaviors ranked from commonly ignored to the single most dangerous one that nearly every senior is doing right now. Number 1 on this list is something so backwards that when you hear the science behind it, you will realize you have been doing the exact opposite of what your body needs. Some of these are embarrassing, some are alarming, and at least 3 of them are silently stealing years from your life while you think you are being careful. I have spent 2 decades in geriatric medicine sitting with thousands of patients between 60 and 92, and what I learned changed everything I thought I knew about aging. Drop your age in the comments right now and tell me the one thing about getting older that nobody warned you about, because I read every single comment. Now let us count down from 12 to 1, and I promise you, number 1 will genuinely change the way you think about your own body. Today, we are going to discuss 12 specific things that seniors do as they age that nobody tells them about, each one backed by clinical research and each one quietly stealing years from their life. In which session, we will count down from number 12 to number 1, revealing the biological mechanism behind each behavior so you understand exactly why it is damaging and exactly how to stop it. Number 12 is something I see constantly in my practice, and it breaks my heart every single time I witness it happening. Number 12 is the slow, quiet retreat from social connection that happens so gradually that nobody notices until the damage is already done. It starts innocently when you skip one dinner, let a phone call go to voicemail, and tell yourself you are just tired or just not in the mood. Researchers at Brigham Young University analyzed data from over 3 million people and concluded that social isolation carries a mortality risk equal to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. After 65, the brain reduces production of oxytocin and serotonin more rapidly than any prior decade, which means the bonding and happiness chemicals are fading exactly when you need them most. Chronic isolation spikes cortisol, which, as research from University College London showed, shrinks the hippocampus, your memory center, at nearly twice the normal rate. The fix is a simple social prescription: 2 community events per week and 1 phone call per day to a friend or family member, because connection is medicine. Number 11 is a habit that makes my patients laugh nervously, because deep down, they already know they are guilty of it. Number 11 is the habit of eating the same thing every single day, believing that routine equals health, when in reality, nutritional monotony after 70 is a silent catastrophe. After 70, your stomach acid production drops in a condition called hypochlorhydria, which reduces your ability to extract micronutrients from food by up to 40%. Research from Tufts University found that seniors with low dietary diversity were 62% more likely to experience muscle loss, cognitive decline, and immune dysfunction. The mitochondria inside every cell require a rotating cast of vitamins and minerals to keep functioning, so feeding them the same fuel every day causes them to sputter and fail. The fix is to introduce 1 new food every week you have not eaten in 14 days. Rotate proteins between fish, legumes, eggs, and poultry, and vary vegetables by color, because different pigments carry different protective compounds. Number 10 surprises almost everyone who hears it, because the thing you think is helping your muscles is actually destroying them. Number 10 is something that surprises almost everyone, because seniors chronically over-rest after physical exertion, and it is quietly destroying their muscle tissue. After 60, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance means your muscles become stubborn and stop responding to normal recovery signals the way a younger body does. A 30-year-old can take 2 full days off after exercise and come back stronger, but a 70-year-old who takes 2 full days off may actually lose ground during that window. Think of it like a campfire, where a young body can let the flame die and rekindle it easily. But an aging body needs small pieces of wood added consistently to keep the fire from going out entirely. The fix is active recovery. 15 to 20 minutes of gentle walking or resistance band movements on your off days, because you must never go from intense exercise to complete stillness. Number 9 is deeply personal and rarely discussed in any doctor office, which is exactly why I feel compelled to bring it up right now. Number 9 is the widespread habit of drastically reducing water intake, because after 75, the thirst mechanism in the brain becomes up to 40% less sensitive than it was at 40. Chronic mild dehydration in seniors accelerates joint deterioration, reduces kidney filtration, thickens the blood, increasing stroke risk, and most disturbingly, mimics and worsens the symptoms of dementia. I have seen patients referred to me with suspected cognitive decline who were, in plain terms, simply not drinking enough water, and proper hydration restored meaningful clarity within weeks. A study from the Journal of Patient Experience found that seniors who actively participated in their own medical decisions had 34% better health outcomes over 5 years than those who passively deferred. After 70, the liver and kidneys process medications more slowly, which means drugs stay in your system longer and at higher concentrations than the label was ever designed for. The fix is to write down your questions before every appointment. Bring a trusted person with you and ask specifically whether any current medication could be deprioritized or replaced with a lifestyle intervention. Number 7 is something I have raised with other physicians in conference rooms and watched people get genuinely uncomfortable hearing it. Number 7 is the quiet epidemic of seniors sleeping too much, because research from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine found that adults over 65 who regularly sleep more than 9 hours show a 37% higher risk of cognitive decline. After 70, the sleep architecture changes fundamentally as deep sleep decreases and the body compensates by spending more total time in bed in lighter, less regenerative sleep stages. The mitochondria in your brain cells depend on efficient deep sleep for a cleanup process called autophagy, which is essentially your brain taking out its own trash overnight. The optimal window is 7 to 8 hours, not 9 or 10. And if you find yourself sleeping well past 8 hours, that may signal a vitamin D deficiency, thyroid dysfunction, or anemia, all of which are extremely common and treatable. Number 6 stems from the best of intentions, but it is one of the most physically costly misconceptions in senior health today. Number 6 is the abandonment of strength training because it feels dangerous or too intense. And I want to say this as directly and as kindly as I can. That belief is one of the most physically costly misconceptions in senior health. After 65, the body loses between 1 and 3% of muscle mass per year in a process called sarcopenia. And after 75, that rate can accelerate to 5% per year without resistance training. Muscle is not vanity. Muscle is your metabolic engine, your fall protection system, your insulin regulator, and your independence. Research from the University of New Mexico showed that seniors who engaged in twice-weekly resistance training reduced their risk of life-threatening falls by up to 40% compared to those who only performed aerobic activity. Number 5 is the hidden crisis of vitamin D deficiency, because after 60, the skin loses approximately 50% of its ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight, and the kidneys become significantly less efficient at converting it. Vitamin D deficiency in seniors has been linked by Harvard Medical School to increased depression, accelerated bone loss, impaired immunity, and a 40% higher risk of dementia. Vitamin D directly regulates testosterone and estrogen production in older adults, which is why researchers now call it the master hormone of aging, since both hormones are essential for muscle, mood, cognition, and cardiovascular health. The fix is to ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test. Take 2,000 to 4,000 international units of D3 daily, paired with vitamin K2. And always take it with your largest meal, because vitamin D is fat soluble and absorbs dramatically better alongside dietary fat. Number 4 is so universal among seniors that it almost functions as a cultural expectation, and the biological consequence is catastrophic. Number 4 is the near universal habit of dramatically reducing protein intake as appetite decreases with age, and the biological consequence of that decision is catastrophic for the aging body. Due to anabolic resistance, older adults actually require more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults, between 1.2 and 1.6 grams per kilogram daily, not less. When seniors fall into protein deficiency, the body initiates catabolism, breaking down existing muscle tissue to harvest amino acids for survival, like a building owner stripping copper wiring from the walls to sell for cash. Spread your protein across every meal, because the aging gut can only absorb 25 to 40 grams at a single sitting. Prioritize leucine-rich foods like eggs, fish, and dairy, and pair every protein meal with a 10-minute walk to enhance uptake. Number 3 touches on something deeply psychological that goes far beyond nutrition or exercise, and I want you to really sit with this one. Number 3 is the quiet, pervasive habit of seniors surrendering their sense of purpose, retiring not just from work, but from meaning itself. Research from the Rush Alzheimer Disease Center followed over 1,500 seniors for 7 years and found that those with a strong sense of purpose were 2.5 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease and lived an average of 7 years longer. When purpose disappears, the prefrontal cortex, the command center for decision-making and personality, loses stimulation and literally shrinks in volume, while inflammation throughout the body increases. The fix is to find your reason to get up in the morning and protect it fiercely, whether that is mentoring, gardening, volunteering, or creating, because purpose is among the most powerful medicines known to science. Number 2 is so shocking that when you hear the science, you will immediately check how you are breathing right now in this moment. Number 2 is the near universal habit of seniors breathing incorrectly, because chronic shallow chest breathing reduces oxygen delivery to the brain and tissues by up to 20%. After 65, the respiratory muscles weaken, the lung tissue loses elasticity, and the diaphragm becomes underused, which means most seniors are running on reduced oxygen every hour of every day without realizing it. The brain consumes 20% of your total oxygen supply, despite being only 2% of your body weight, which means it suffers first and most from this silent oxygen deficit, creating fog, fatigue, anxiety, and poor sleep. The fix is diaphragmatic breathing for 10 minutes daily, inhaling slowly for 4 counts, allowing the belly to expand, holding briefly, and exhaling for 6 to 8 counts, which has been shown at Massachusetts General Hospital to lower blood pressure, reduce cortisol, and improve oxygen saturation. And now we arrive at number 1, the one that the medical system rarely confronts, the one that quietly undermines every other healthy habit you have. And now we arrive at number 1, the single most damaging thing seniors do as they age, the one that quietly undermines every other healthy habit on this list. It is the habit of accepting pain as inevitable and stopping movement because of it. And that interpretation is physiologically backwards. Synovial fluid, the lubricating substance inside your joints, is not passively maintained, but actively produced and circulated through movement. So when you stop moving because of joint pain, you are starving the joint of the very fluid that reduces that pain. Think of it like a squeaky hinge, where most people stop opening the door because it squeaks. But the answer is oil, and movement is the oil. Research from Johns Hopkins Arthritis Center found that gentle, consistent movement reduces joint pain in seniors by up to 47% over 12 weeks, more effectively than anti-inflammatory medications and without the gastrointestinal and cardiovascular side effects. Within 72 hours of reduced movement, muscle protein synthesis slows. Insulin sensitivity drops. Cardiovascular efficiency decreases, and inflammatory cytokines begin accumulating in what Stanford researchers call an accelerated aging cascade. 1 week of significant inactivity in a senior can take 3 to 4 weeks of consistent movement to reverse, and the longer the pattern continues, the harder the reversal becomes. Here is what I want you to take from today, because this is the message that changes everything about how you approach aging. Aging is not a passive experience that happens to you. It is an active process you participate in with every choice you make each day. The 12 things we discussed today are not character flaws. They are understandable, deeply human responses to a changing body. But understanding them and choosing differently is absolutely within your power, regardless of your age. I have seen transformation in patients in their 80s, and I have watched people reclaim independence and vitality at ages when the world had quietly written them off, because it is never too late. Not at 70, not at 80, not at 92. Leave a comment below telling me which of these 12 surprised you the most. And share your age, because your stories matter deeply, and I genuinely read everything you write. Share this video with someone over 60 who needs to hear it, and subscribe right now so you never miss what we publish each week, because your quality of life is not a fixed destination. It is a direction, and you can change direction today.